Hi, this is part one in a two-part video series of two encaustic mixed media pieces that I am creating. In this video, I'm going to show you how I used various materials to create the underpainting. I found these panels at the dollar store. I fixed or glued some watercolor paper to the surface of the panels, and in this video I'm going to add some plaster and rusty items, some fabric, in various watercolor and ink colors to start creating the underpainting for these encaustic mixed media pieces. I'm using some plaster wrap material to hold the rusty metal nails onto the surface, and I also mixed up some plaster of Paris, and I'm using that to hold the material pieces as well as create some texture. I had gotten my plaster of Paris a little bit too runny, and so it wasn't creating the texture that I was hoping for. As I continued to work with it, it did dry out a little bit and start to set up so that I could make texture in it. It was just laying down and becoming smooth. So note to self, if as you work with it and it dries out, it does become thicker and able to hold shape. Once I got everything placed how I wanted it, I did go ahead and let that dry overnight. I came back the next day with some wallpaper adhesive, and I went ahead and glued the pieces of paper, and I had some hymnal and some scripture pieces that I went ahead and glued down onto the collage. And then after that, I will use some watercolor to start creating some color space in the background of these pieces. I had heard somewhere online about creating a homemade chalk paste using some acrylic medium and baby powder, um, which is the talcum powder, which is hard to find anymore. I did try it and I had just a little bit left over, and that's what I'm using here to kind of fade some of the collage and stuff out. If you cover that with a thin layer of chalk paint, whatever kind that you have, it's just a way to make it look a little more faded and aged. These are some Winsor & Newton solid watercolors that I picked up. It's a travel case, and so I got it fairly inexpensively, but they are a very good quality watercolor paint. It just takes a little bit of water to activate them. I did speed these videos up quite a bit. I know that there are some of you out there who like to watch the whole process and find it interesting, maybe sometimes relaxing, but I also know there's a lot of you that do not like to see all of it. So I try to meet in the middle, showing as much as I can, but at a very rapid pace. If there are certain things that some of you viewers enjoy seeing more than other things, if you want to leave me a comment down below and let me know that, that would be great. I am new into the YouTube world, and so I'm kind of just doing my own thing here, and would love to hear some feedback. I went ahead and started working on the second one. I'm not very practiced with watercolors. I love how they look, but I do struggle sometimes layering the colors. I think often I can do it like the oil or acrylic paint and try to do wet on wet, but obviously that does not work with watercolor. So I tried to let that other board dry a little bit and started to add some color onto this one. Once I added some of that color, I went ahead and took my charcoal pencil and retraced over some of the lines that I had made, and then also made some new line work. Just wanted to create a little more contrast and sharpen up some of the line work that I had previously done. I let those dry overnight again and came back to the boards, this time wanting to incorporate a little bit of India ink onto the panels. Wanted to try to sharpen up the color in some areas. Again, this is another medium I'm not very practiced with, so wanted to layer the colors. I kept wanting to layer the colors, creating a little bit of a richer color in some areas and just a different color on top of that watercolor, because eventually I will be adding encaustic to these, and I wanted the colors to be a little more sharp. As is sometimes the case with me when I do use the color, sometimes I get a little carried away, and although I do like how these end up turning out in the end, I probably did add a little more than probably what I should have. I'm just about ready to end this video for this portion of the painting. I will let these dry thoroughly, and then I will start adding the encaustic layers, and I will have that in a second part of this video. Hope to see you there. Look for the link down below. Thank you.